I don't care what you say. It is the song I always think of when I think of Christmas. If you listen to Mariah Carey sing that song, oh no, I turned off my light. Oh no. All right, we're back up. The big guy's not prepped. The big guy's, do I look like a guy that comes to this show ready to go? Because if you think I do, you're wrong. I can't even get my lights up. I can't even get my chair situated. I'm wearing a Santa hat. What in the hell is going on? What's up, new guy? My name's James, better known as the Degenerate75. I'm a DFS content creator who is here to help you get a little bit better at DFS. I got a little secret that not a lot of people are going to tell you. This should be real tough, okay? And I'm not going to get you there with picks and plays, as nobody will, okay? So don't listen to those donkey dicks. But what I am going to try to do is walk you a little bit through the process. It took me a long time to become a good DFS player, but I finally got there. Maybe I could share some wisdom with you. We're going to be breaking down that 2-game slate today for NFL. I believe we're talking NFL. I've already talked college today. Now I'm NFL. Got to talk NFL tonight. As you can see, that is my schedule right there. If you find you like the cut of my jib, new guy, first of all, hit subscribe, donkey, and go check out this schedule. Not only am I doing this stream right now, we're going to break down the 2-game slate. Don't forget, we got a full 9-game slate tomorrow for NFL. I'll be breaking that down tonight at, 7 o'clock, and that's in the Lord's time zone. That's Central, okay? Lord, okay? Hey, it's the time he was born, depending on what religion you are, okay? So be there for that. And then I'm doing a weird one Sunday night, tomorrow night at 7:30. So after the Sunday Night Football game locks, come on here because there's a Monday 3-game slate that I want to break down. It's going to be a fun slate, all right? For every 50 likes we get over there, make sure you're hitting that like button. I will give away a ticket with me tonight, sponsored by my dude Eric. So hit that like. Maybe we'll get up to 100 likes, and I'll give away 2, all right? And we will put it in the big contest today, or if the contest is already filled, which I don't think it will be, we'll just do it tomorrow. But I promise you a ticket, and I will split the profits with you 50-50 because you need to know this about the big guy up front. I love cold brew, and I'm not a poor, all right? This shit smacks. No more than 2 questions over here. No more than 2 questions, all right? Just some look. See, I'm already over here on college football. You can see where I've been this morning. All right, let's look at this 2-game slate today. Yes, 2-game slates are better than 1-game slates, right? I would say at least twice as good. But I'm excited about this slate. This is a good contest as always. DraftKings, it's NFL, man. There's so many good contests. You're not going to struggle to find anything. What's this little right here? Man, see why, like right here, this chain mover could be so good, but then it's 25% of the entire prize pool goes to first. I don't like it. Okay. I'm more, what is this one? Is this the 5? Oh yeah. The 5 max, the $33 5 max. See, this one's normally nutted, but look, 25% of the prize pool goes to first. I'm out like a fat kid in dodgeball. So, I would just tell you this, man, if you ever want to try to have some more fun at NFL DFS, you haven't been doing well, try playing in smaller fields. That's what I'm going to tell you, okay? I'll talk more about that on the slate tonight. Not going to dive in there right now, okay? Because this show's going to be a little bit shorter, all right? It's a 2-game slate. It's a short slate. You're going to get a shorter show. Hey, right now, editor, in the post this link. This is for the main slate tomorrow. This is my listener league. It is a $5 3 max reduce rake. Get in there. I appreciate you. Fill it up now so I don't have to be like, baby, I need you come Sunday morning, all right? Let's just dive straight into this bad boy. We got a 2-game slate today, and it's fun because the games aren't stacked at the same time. Well, I actually kind of liked when they're at the same time, if I'm being honest with you, Bob. But when there's when the games are at different times, that allows late swap, okay? And if you're a noob, late swap is like one of the last things that you learn, right? That's like year 3 of graduate school for most DFS players, right? So many of you hear me say late swap, you're like, I made my lineup, I'm done with it. And you can't do that, especially on a 2-game slate, right? Because just like we did this last week, and I said, look, guys, there are tremendous leverage plays in this first game. And literally the 2 people I said was T. Higgins and who was the slapdick that went off for the other team? Jordan Addison. Literally the 2 examples I gave of these guys that you could grab the slate by the nuts if you hit those guys early, and then it can really affect how you play the rest of the day, right? And so that's what you need to be thinking about late swap is how can you play the first game, and then depending on how that game goes, how does that affect how you play the second or third game, depending on if it's a 2 or a 3-game slate, right? And this is really the strategy you want to be implementing today. It is without question that there's going to be 2 quarterbacks that are more popular. Well, Josh Allen's going to be mega popular, right? We know this. And then Jake Browning will be relatively popular, and then ain't nobody playing Mason Rudolph or Easton Stick, okay? Old baseball bat. So with that in mind, it allows you some opportunities to do some stuff, right? It allows you to get creative with your lineups, all right? So don't forget about late swap. Have a plan on how you can maybe get some high leverage pieces to hit the nuts in the early game. And then if, you hit like, I don't know, let's say you play a Tanner Hudson or something, he's low owned and he goes for 17, you could be really, really far ahead of the field. I imagine Joe Mixon will be a solid play. You nail one of the Pittsburgh running backs, well, then now you can easily go play Josh Allen in the late game, right? And play that safe, Chuck, because you're already so far ahead because you nailed the leverage plays. Shit goes haywire in the first games, they don't go well. Well, then, go try to build the Buffalo's lineup that's different than everybody else, right? So those are some things that I want you to consider. All right, let's break down these two games, and let's talk about how to build the lineups. First of all, you can see that the totals, 38.5, not the worst, but also not a high total. And then the other game is 44, but Buffalo basically is getting all of that. So I think you're going to see, just looking at the team totals, I think you're going to see so many lineups today with people starting with 4 Buffalo Bills, maybe even 5 if you include the defense. They are going to be wildly popular. And here's what I'll tell you, right? Buffalo has looked like world beaters the last 2 weeks. The Chargers look like maybe a Division III football team last week, and so Buffalo is just absolutely going to blow them out. Or they're not. Anytime that the NFL is 100% sure this team is going to blow out this team, it just 50% of the time it doesn't happen. There's the facts, right? This game, there's a 50% chance this game will be competitive. I'm not saying 50% chance Chargers will win. I'm saying a 50% chance they're going to keep it within probably, as you can see the spread, 10 to 13 points, right? Like this game could be competitive till the end, and if the Chargers are scoring some points today, and they're going to be lower owned, well, then that could be the play, right? Or maybe they actually just stop this Bills offense, which has been absolutely nuclear recently. We ever think about this, right? Hey, new guys, make sure you're hitting the like button over there. I already see us at 50 likes. Already doing one giveaway. So we're going to start with this first game. The total's lower. All right. Anytime Cincinnati and Pittsburgh play in December, you just assume it's going to be a frozen tundra and they're going to be tackling each other and shit, right? No points scored. But let's face it, Jake Browning's been pretty good. I was ringing the bell on Jake Browning before anybody thought it was cool. I was the first one that was talking about him on that Monday night slate against the Jags. You're welcome. All right. So now everybody's on the Jake Browning train, but I was there before it was cool. I will tell you, I think he's going to be significantly higher owned than Rudolph and Stick, right? So, if you're wanting to get off the Josh Allen shock, Browning does make sense. He will be dramatically lower owned than Josh Allen. But if you really, really want to be different, you really, really want to get play the game, then you need to be open to Mason Rudolph or Easton Stick, a.k.a. Mason Rudolph is going to lead your slate tonight, and Easton Stick is baseball bat. That's their nicknames, right? I just realized it's Christmas weekend, and we've got Rudolph on the slate. How the hell do we not play this guy? What are we doing? Okay, sorry. My nose itches. Too much blow this morning, I guess. All right. Starting with Cincinnati, Jake Browning has been good, right? And now you have Jamar Chase out. And Jake Browning can throw a forward football pass. That's good. Pittsburgh's defense is solid. I get it. But Jake Browning can throw. And when you have Jamar Chase, that is out. That is a dramatic amount of usage that has to get spread around. I think almost everybody is going to play T. Higgins tonight. He looked great last week. He finally looked like the old T. Higgins that we know, right? But I'll just let you know, T. Higgins, almost all of his catches are always contested catches, right? He's a lot like DeAndre Hopkins in that way, in that they can have these big games. But when so many of your catches are contested catches, I mean, you've got to jump up and take the ball away from another individual. Sometimes you don't get all those 50-50 catches, and there is always a chance for there to be not a great game, right? T. Higgins is not a guy that's catching a lot of 15-yard curls and stuff like that, right? Not hitting a lot of in routes. He's a guy that goes up and catches. They either run him little quick throwouts and he runs for 5 yards, or he gets bombs down the field. And if he's not catching those bombs, there is a path for him not scoring well. But with that said, it also seems like he is a shoe-in for probably 8 to 10 targets, and at 6,500 with his talent, it's hard not to take that, right? But I think the more interesting one is where else does that usage go to, right? Could we see Joe Mixon getting some more balls out of the backfield? Obviously, I think Tyler Boyd clearly becomes the number 2 wide receiver for Cincinnati, and I think even old Trenton Irwin, the Australian man himself, gets a bump. But to me, a guy that's really been trending that no one ever thinks about because you think, oh, wide receiver's out, I play his backup wide receiver. Tanner Hudson's a dude that's trending. The guy's he's good at American football, and I think that he could get some of that Chase usage. So to just think that Chase is out, I got to go play a Cincinnati receiver, I think you're being a little short-sighted. Think about how a guy like Chase Brown, Joe Mixon, Tanner Hudson, think how that usage could be passed around to people that are not just wide receivers, okay? Yes, the wide receivers are going to get a boost. Higgins, Boyd, really good plays. Irwin now becomes a very good sneaky play. But it's not just those three that are the only ones that are going to benefit from the massive vacuum that is left from a guy like Jamar Chase being out, okay? I also got to tell you, I think the Bengals defense at 3,700, pretty doable. Mason Rudolph, you got to remember, I went to Oklahoma State. All right, and Oklahoma State is Mason Rudolph's college, and I know a little secret not a lot of people know. Guy fucking sucks, okay? He is not good, and he likes to turn the ball over, okay? So with that, I think the Bengals defense is on the table. Heading over to Pittsburgh, not a soul's going to play Mason Rudolph. I honestly think he might be like single-digit owned on a 2-game slate. There's only 4 quarterbacks, right? So for him to be single-digit owned honestly makes him kind of interesting to me, right? I've already told you the secret about Mason Rudolph is that he sucks, okay? He does, and he does. I stand by that. But you know what? If you're in the NFL, you can have a random good game every now and then, right? So I think you need to consider him. You need to consider him. If you think Pittsburgh is going to have any offense today, Mason Rudolph is unique because he allows you to be different in 2 ways. A, you're pivoting because you're going to be playing the lowest-owned quarterback, right? Mason Rudolph will probably be the lowest-owned quarterback. Him or Easton Stick, old baseball bat. So that's pivot number 1. You're playing a dramatically lower-owned quarterback. But the other way that he becomes a really interesting pivot is these Pittsburgh running backs are going to be popular. Najee Harris and Warren at those price tags with the way that they've been running the ball are going to be popular. So if you play Mason Rudolph and he somehow throws for 250 yards and 3 touchdowns and those running backs don't get any of that, well, not only have you gotten the pivot because he was a low-owned quarterback, you've also gotten the pivot off of those Steelers running back chalk, okay? So you need to ask yourself, where's the balance at, right? We have Mason Rudolph who fucking sucks, but he also offers us the chance of double leverage. There's not a lot of times that a guy can offer us leverage in 2 different ways, and Mason Rudolph, who we cannot ignore that he has a red nose and it is Christmas weekend, you got to consider him. Okay, am I telling you to play him? No, because I don't really give a shit who you play, Bob. Moving on, at wide receiver, anytime a backup quarterback comes in, I always like to take the number 1 wide receiver who is a targets guy, which in this case would be Deontay Johnson, and I like their tight end. I think Pat Freiermuth is in a smash position today because I don't have actual data for this. I bet I could find it, and I bet it would be supported, so this is anecdotal, but every time backup quarterbacks come into, they throw it to the volume hawk wide receiver, and they throw it to the tight end. It's like their fucking comfy blanket, right? It's their weighted blanket to make them feel safe at night. So if I'm stacking Rudolph, Johnson and Freiermuth are definitely the 2 that I'm looking to stack him with. You could probably just skinny stack his ass, to be honest, because it's going to be hard for him to take 2 pass catchers there with him. And I think the other one that you always have to consider is George Pickens, just because of the big playability, right? I think George Pickens is the guy that's going to get you 21 points today, or he's going to get you 3.5. I don't think anywhere in between. I think he's going to have a really, really good game or dick. I think that's the 2 options you're going to get from him. I'm not trying to get cute and play cheap wide receivers from the Steelers. I think there's better places to punt. We've already talked about Irwin. Hell, I'd play old Ilyasovich from the Bengals before I'd play Robinson or Austin, right? Once again, I think Pat Freiermuth, underpriced, is going to be in a very good spot tonight. We'll have to watch his ownership. He could get chalky. I have seen some people already talking him up, but man, he was the first guy I thought of when I saw old Mason Rudolph noses starting. And then here's a good one. If you want a good leverage defense, I think the Steelers are at home playing Browning, who I know has looked good so far this year, but, he's still Jake Browning, right? So the Steelers defense, you're telling me you can't see 6 sacks today? You're telling me you can't see a forced fumble, take it to the house, and all of a sudden they've got 15 points, and they're the best defense on the slate? I always give the tiebreaker to defenses that are at home. Moving on to the second game, this is just the ultimate or they could game, right? Buffalo is world beaters. The Chargers are the worst team ever. They could never do good today. Or they could. Remember that. These are professional football teams with professional players. Ain't nobody for the Chargers giving up, okay? I promise you, everything just went wrong for them last game. I will guarantee you the Chargers will come out and at least be competitive for a half. Are they going to get blown out in the end? Maybe. But it's not going to come out and be 28-0 in the first or second quarter again like it was last week. That I guarantee you, all right? So starting with Buffalo, what do we say, man? Josh Allen at 8,100. First of all, with the pricing being so soft, it is so easy to get Josh Allen in your lineups and Diggs, right? And you're really not even punting. They really should have bumped some of these guys' prices up. Honestly, Josh Allen should be probably 9,500 on this slate. No exaggeration. At 8,100, he just offers you such an incredible floor with his rushing upside. Seems like he gets a rushing touchdown like every game. He gets you 30 to 40 yards rushing every game. Oh, yeah, and he can also pass. And, oh, yeah, they also have a 28.5 point total. How do you ever not play Josh Allen? Well, it's easy. The answer is easy how you don't play him. You play in a fucking game, right? We're not playing who's the best quarterback here. We're playing a game called how can I get different than the field and not do it in a way that I'm stepping on my own dick. And is Josh Allen the best quarterback on the slate? By a country mile. But remember, in a single day of NFL DFS, maybe he won't be the best play today. All right. And if you are insistent that Josh Allen is the play today, I get it. I truly do. I want to play Josh Allen too. But then you have to ask yourself, how do I play Josh Allen but play him differently than everybody else is? And maybe the answer to that is you go pair him up and you pair him up with like a Latavius Murray, right? Not a lot of people are going to have a Josh Allen Latavius Murray connection, right? Maybe Latavius Murray falls in the box twice today, but maybe Josh Allen runs one in and throws one in and also has a 300-yard rushing or 300-yard passing bonus, right? And that could get you there. Maybe you go playing with a punt like Dawson Knox, old Khalil Shakur, Gabe Davis, right? Because most people that play Josh Allen are going to be stacking him with James Cook and Stephon Diggs and Dalton Kincaid. That I promise you, right? And the only reason Dalton Kincaid, yes, he had a bad game last game, but you got to throw last game out. The fucking Bills threw 14 times last game. That shit's not sustainable. They will throw more than 14 times today. So people are not going to overreact to Dalton Kincaid. He is still definitively, in my opinion, the number 2 pass catcher there for the Bills. So you need to ask yourself, if I'm playing Josh Allen, how can I play him differently than everybody else is? And the answer to me is just don't stack him with Cook, Diggs, and Kincaid, right? Or if you do, well, then go put a weird Bills piece in there. Go put Latavius Murray. Go. How about double stack Allen with Kincaid and Knox, right? Find a way to play him a little bit different because I get wanting to play Josh Allen. He is looking like a world beater. I think the Bills are still going to rally and make the Super Bowl. There you go. I said it. And I think Josh Allen is a mother father stud, not only at real life football, but at fantasy football. So I want to play Josh Allen too. And if that's ultimately what I decide to do, here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to find a way to play him differently than everybody else. That's what I'm going to do, Bob. All right, so there you go. That's the Bills. Once again, not punting with Sherfield and Hardy. There's just not a lot of value there. I just don't want to chase that. If I'm gonna punt with the Buffalo, I'm gonna play Knox. Right, that's where I'm at. Moving over to the Chargers, they actually ended up having a decent fantasy game, even though they got blown out by 900 points, I believe. Here's what I'll tell you. Easton Stick, he actually didn't look that bad. They just got so far behind so quickly, we never really got a chance to see what old baseball bat was about, right? I think he could be a guy, right? They're at home. Nobody's giving them a chance. Maybe they could do something today, right? An Easton Stick stack is not the grossest thing. Furthermore, Keenan Allen's out. And with Keenan Allen being out, I think it's pretty damn clear he's only going to be throwing the ball to a handful of guys. I think you're going to see a good amount of dump downs to Eckler. I think Palmer and Quentin Johnston, maybe a little Jalen Guyton are the only 3 wide receivers that are going to catch any. And then, of course, Gerald Everett is the tight end. I think that's basically the only people he's going to be throwing the football to. So if you know that and you're willing to play an Easton Stick stack, then I think that could get there, right? And I think that he is a guy that pairs nicely with Eckler. You're telling me you can't see him dropping off a screen. Eckler takes it to the house. Not only are you getting that receiving touchdown, now you're getting the passing touchdown for Stick. And then he also, Josh Palmer also has 6 catches, 80 yards, and catches a touchdown. And all of a sudden the Chargers scored, they only scored 14 points today, but Easton Stick was able to get there because the Bills only scored 24, and Latavius Murray's dumbass fell in the box twice to nerf all of the Bills scoring, right? So in this sense, it's a lot like what we do with Showdown. What is the game script of how this could play out that gives you the most leverage? You just got to do it times 2 today, right? Austin Eckler is a dude that, we're seeing Spiller creep up. I think Spiller has clearly passed Kelly as the number 2 option there, but Eckler just hasn't had that big game yet, and I don't think anybody really wants to play him today against this Bills defense. But don't forget, if the Chargers are going to have a pulse today and they're going to keep it close, Austin Eckler's going to be involved in this, right? So just some things to keep in mind. Wow, 160 people in here and only 76 likes. That's almost 100 donkey dicks in here. And then, as always, I think you want to consider guys like Parham. He always gets those catches, red zone targets, excuse me. So that's my thoughts. As defenses in this game, the Bills defense is going to be, 97% owned. And I never love to play a chalky defense. I think on a 4-game slate, there's just such a good chance that another defense will do better. So that's my thoughts on that. The Chargers defense, I got to tell you, probably don't love them. If I want to get cute with the defense, I'm probably going with the Steelers or the Bengals. But let's not forget, Josh Allen, he's turned the ball over before. He ain't afraid of a little fumble, scoop it, and take it to the house, right? Man, quit letting this guy fucking dominate the chat over here, editor. Jeez, mute his ass. All right, let's see. I think that's it. I think we've covered it. That is everything. Hey, let's get to the drawing. I see 82 likes. Surely we will rally and get to 100 likes. Editor, go ahead and draw me a name while I tell everybody, djn75.com. Come check out my site, guys. There has to be a place where you can get tools, get great content, and not be price gouged. If you want all of football, this is including all the rest of the season and college football for the rest of the season, you can get it all for $34.99, which is just laughable because, not only am I doing special streams behind the paywall for everybody over there, I also have this thing called the Rosetta Stone, the thing we were looking at, but this is what it actually looks like, right? It has, I have brought up the college football one, but they look the same, right? It has everything you need from the games to target to upside to cash considerations to who we're watching on status, their ownership, their projections, their points per dollar, optimal rates, snaps, targets, rush games, projections, every single thing you want for each player. We have it on there, okay? So let's get to the drawing. Editor, draw that name, and once we get to 100 likes, I will do another one. While the editor does that, I'm going to get a quick swig of the, what is this? The cold brew. Shit smacks. That shit smacks. And once again, Eric is our sponsor. I have a lot of people that reach out to want to give me money. I'm not going to take your money. I'm not a fucking poor. But if you want to sponsor giveaways to help grow the community, that I will take, and I appreciate every one of you, including you, Eric. Matter of fact, look, there's Eric right there on the collage this week. This is a shout out to all my winners over on my website. I guess the editor is never going to do the fucking drawing. So, you got to love all these people flying the flag, just finding success at whatever levels they're playing at. Some guys are winning 10,000. Some guys are winning in the thousands. Some guys are winning in the hundreds. It doesn't matter. If it's a lot to you, it's a lot to me. I get pumped for these motherfathers. The bot is dead again. Winner is NTF Degenerates. Hey, that name alone is an auto qualifier. What a great name. NTF Degenerates. There you go. Non-fungible tokens. Is that what that stands for? I don't know about that shit, but hey, you got degenerates in your name, so I'm in. There you go. That's our winner. I'm going to answer some questions. Once we get to 100 likes, I will drop another one. Well, the editor will with his broken bot. He's got a broken bot. All right, Jarvis Elder, ironically, a very young man. Do you think that we can still win the GPP without putting Josh Allen at quarterback and get different? I absolutely do. Now, at the same time, I really want to play Josh Allen and play him differently. I think my lineups today, Jarvis, will consist of either fading Allen in a lineup or playing Allen in a really weird way. That's the two ways I'm thinking about going about it, Jarvis. Haven't made up my mind. Still got about 3 hours, but you best believe I'm going to be up in them streets tonight, boy. Yeah. All right, Blood Robot even. If the Chargers are to keep it competitive today and Eckler seemingly checked out, did the tight end wide receiver stand a better chance? Yeah, I'm not sure that Eckler's checked out yet, right? I think that like the Chargers, I don't think they're giving up on the season. He could play tonight. I get that he's a big leverage play, but I just don't see a way the Chargers can keep it competitive without Eckler being somewhat involved. That would be my take on it. Just joined the fam last night. Amazing Asian, you motherfather. Loving the vibes. I'm crazy to avoid Allen and go with Browning to avoid the high juice on ownership in small tournaments today. No, I don't think so. I think that you play Browning, but here's the problem. Almost everybody that plays Browning is going to play him with Higgins and Boyd. So let me ask you this. What are you, because Browning is definitely going to be the second highest owned quarterback today, right? He's not some, 5% owned pivot you're making. He is going to be the second highest owned guy. So what are you going to do to not build the exact same lineup that everybody who plays Browning and then goes Higgins and Boyd? You need to answer that question, my friend. Teddy Boss. Will playing the Bills onslaught, Alan Cooks, Gabe Kincaid be over? Oh, no. I think that most people are going to play 3 to 4 Bills, Teddy Boss. So the one thing that you could do with the Bills is just go play 5 of them. I don't think very many people are going to commit to playing 5 Bills, right? So that would be a way to do it. I would almost certainly make sure the Bills defense is one of those 5, though. Thinking a new coaching staff is going to ride Eckler? I think that way. Look, once again, I'll just say this for the 58th time. I don't think that the Chargers can keep it close unless Eckler's involved in playing well. That's my take. I remember watching him a few weeks ago. He looked a little banged up, and maybe that's still the case. But if he's not, then they're going to need him. Guessing the play is to get pieces of the late game and stack the early for leverage. That's what we did last week. It worked out. And I think there's some great leverage pieces in this first game. Can we fade the Bills on this one? No. There's just no way that no Bill is going to get there, right? If you want to play best case scenario, right? You're like, the Bills are only going to score 21 tonight and someone's going to steal 2 touchdowns, right? Maybe the defense scores 1. But then, and then you play Latavius Murray, right? So maybe that would be it. Maybe that's the weirdest way you could play the Bills. The Bills defense and Latavius Murray. James Cooks gets his. Everybody kind of does well, but Murray steals the 2 touchdowns. The Bills get a defense. They win 21-10. That would be that is the ultimate contrarian. But I will tell you, it does, at least from a narrative sense, it could happen, right? At least it's on the pantheon of possible outcomes. Merry Christmas to all you guys. I missed the banjos. How dare you, Nick? How dare you? Palmer, a really good play versus Buffalo D. I don't know that I'd say a really good play, but I do think he will definitively be the number 1 wide receiver for the Chargers. I think he'll get somewhere in the neighborhood of 6 to 8 targets. And, depending on how much you value those, I think he could be a good play. And, if you think that the Chargers are going to be competitive. I mean, Easton Stick didn't mind throwing in the ball last week, had that big touchdown. Any thoughts on playing a defense and starting the opposing quarterback? I think on these 2-game slate, Eric, that's a really sneaky way to be different, is to do that, right? Not only are you getting a quarterback who, if, he throws that pick 6 or gets sacked and fumbled and they take it back. Now he's in a favorable game script. Now your defense is getting there and your quarterback is in a script you want. I don't mind that at all on these slates. Bryant, switching out cold brew for some eggnog today. Man, I got to watch the eggnog intake. We're going cold brew. Big guy's getting a little too chubby out there. All right. Fired coach bump for the Chargers. I don't hate it. You can't be worse than that last guy was. Let's see. Looking for questions. Jacob says, is it more a wide receiver or running back slate today? I think that obviously the safer plays today are definitively these running backs. I think all these running backs for all the teams are very playable. But if you're wanting to get weird, I think the place to get weird is at wide receiver today, right? I think that's the place to get weird. Or maybe some backup running backs, right? If you want to, a Chase Brown or something like that, maybe a Latavius Murray, maybe I guess, are we calling Najee the backup now? I mean, I guess he still starts, but he kind of feels like the backup, right? King guy, we're on the line and leaving salary on the table on 2-gamer. I would easily leave $1,000 on the table tonight and not even think twice about it. Browning and T. Higgins, skinny with a warm Freiermuth as pit runbacks. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. I wouldn't mind that. Fading the Bills on a slate, crazy. Fading Bills on this slate, crazy. Yes, to play no Bills, I think it's too cute. I think it's too cute. At some point, there's being contrarian, and then at some point, you're just being an ass clown. You're just being an ass clown. I think playing no Bills is just too far. It's too far. Now, you get away with 1 or 2, but 0, no chance. No chance. Just last week, you probably could have just played 1 Bill as long as it was James Cook, right? But like one of them's going to get there. I promise you one of them's going to get there. Is the play to go heavy on Higgins with people getting too cute and jamming Boyd? I think you're going to be disappointed how popular both of them are going to be, Daniel. I see 97 likes, and you ain't one of them. 88 people who are just in here hanging out. The hell's wrong with you? It's the Christmas. You can't drop a like on Christmas, you donkey dicks. Is playing stick even worth it in single entry? Sure. I mean, any of these quarterbacks are worth it. I don't know that he would be ideal, but depending on what, maybe skinny stack him. Just run him with Palmer or whoever you think is going to go off, and then you can go play the chalk everywhere else. And if he just has a good game, don't forget, I've had 3 tremendous weeks this year at NFL, and it all involved a super cheap quarterback having a average game. But depending on how all the other quarterbacks do, if it allows you to get to all the other right pieces, sometimes that can be the answer. Is Dawson Knox sneaky at 2.7? Yes, I think so. I think Dawson Knox is one of the few Bills that there actually is good leverage on. He did, he only ran 9 routes last week, but he ran 13 routes. But you got to remember, maybe it was 9. I think I'm getting him and Kincaid confused. I think he ran 9. But you got to remember, they only threw the ball 14 times. So I think you got to throw those results out. All right. Yeah, we've already talked about the interim coach. Don't mind it. Rudolph, going to win all the reindeer games? I think so. With his nose so bright, he's going to lead that team tonight, even though it's today, but whatever. Neptune Drill Team, smaller fields, less than 1,000 people. Do you prefer to get different with QB stacks? Yeah, I think that you get paid more dividends with there because, you don't need them to be absolutely nutted because you're not trying to beat 100,000 people. If Easton Stick or Mason Rudolph or whoever you're talking about can do better than Josh Allen points per dollar, that can still get you there, assuming that it allows you to build the lineup that other people aren't building. Editor, I finally see 100 likes. Why don't you go ahead and draw that second name or tell your bot or tell us who it is because your bot's broken. Do you have any favorite props today? We're saving props till tonight. I just didn't want to bog it down. I wanted this one to be short and sweet. So no. How the hell did DK make the Bengals defense Bengals teams more expensive? Because they got an algorithm and they don't fucking look anything over. Donkeys. What's your favorite Christmas song? Oh, you're going to see it on the outro, Luke. You're going to see it on the outro. It used to be Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You. That was the intro. The outro is my favorite. You're going to see it, you mother father. Let me get my hat up. Let me get the ball over here. Do you sweeten your cold brew or drink it plain? Drink it plain, man. I don't put no sugar in this body. I'm like a gym bro and shit, man. Are we going full Eckler workload today? I don't know how to read that, right? I think that the new coaching staff probably wants to do well, and they probably realize the best player they have is Austin Eckler, but I'm still not convinced he's 100%. I still haven't seen him look as electric and explosive as he has in the past. So to me, he's like the great unknown of this slate, right? He's a calculated risk that I get, but I'm also not just like, he is the play today. I guarantee you he's going to do well. I'm not there either. You know what I'm saying? Playing Murray and Cook, I don't hate that one at all, Tommy. I think that's pretty clever, actually. I think that's pretty clever. And obviously, if you do that, you're not going to want to play Josh Allen in that one, right? Dewey Bartlett, what a name. 'Tis the season. Eckler fade with a new coach. Well, here's the thing. I think if Eckler gets popular, I will happily fade Austin Eckler. Trust me, Dewey. I will happily fade him. But I'm not convinced that he's going to get popular. So if that's the case, I kind of like him for the leverage play, right? So it's really going to come down to whatever the field does, I'll just do the opposite on Eckler. That's pretty simple for me. How often do you lock a player in 20-plus lineups in main slate? I mean, I guess on these, like on a 2 or 3 game slate, probably more, but on the main slate, never. Like, never. Your crappy troll of a coach got fired boost for the Colts tonight? No. I mean, I think it's going to give him more to play for. That's what I think. Where's our second winner? Burley Funbags. What a fucking name. And he got it in right before the freaking bot asked the question. What a lucky donkey. What a lucky donkey. All right, Red Nose. Yeah, I mean, Mason Rudolph could get there. I don't think anybody's going to play him. I think Easton Stick probably is going to get more volume, but I think Rudolph has a chance to be more efficient. That would be my answer to that. Let's see. How about Rudolph mini stacks and load up on the Bills? Yeah, I think that's interesting, right? Go play Rudolph and then whoever, Freiermuth or Deontay Johnson, whoever you want to put him with, and then go over to the Bills. Get Cook, get Diggs, get Kincaid, right? All 3 of those guys could get there without Allen getting there. You know, I wouldn't say it's likely, but it could definitely happen. 7th place last week in the 500K to first 10K DK. That's incredible, Rance. Congratulations. Not quit dominating the chat. Let's see. Texas A&M owned Isaiah Spilled Milk for a pump play. Man, I guess just because we're not sure what they're going to do with Eckler, maybe there's some value there. But I feel like there's a pretty good running back slate to really be trying to punt there. Great recommendations on contest selection and late swap. Changed the way I play DFS. Well, I'm glad you want a ticket, Burley. What is your opinion on tiers contests? Do you ever play them? I think tiers are fun. I really like tiers. I've had success with them. There's so many things that people do wrong at that, and it's something I really want to explore more. I've just been so busy trying to get out main DFS content. But tiers, the 2 things you can really do is get good ownership for your tiers and play the leverage game in a couple of strategic spots. Just play lower owned guys in each group. But then also don't forget about the importance of correlation in your tiers lineup. When people make tiers lineups, they just go, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. And they're never thinking that this guy and tier 1 and this guy in tier 4 are directly connected. Their success is connected, or maybe it's anti-connected, right? Maybe there's a negative correlation there, and they forget to play that game even when they're building their tiers lineups, right? Not the good players don't forget that, but the average dickhead that's getting in there, he forgets that. Trust me. Josh Allen naked going to be unique. Is Josh Allen naked going to be unique? Yes, that would be very unique. I would say less than 5% of people that play Josh Allen will play him naked. Plus, I think the NFL requires a uniform. I'm pretty sure. Fade the first game thoughts. Don't love it, Bob. Don't love it. I think that, I think you're going to want to have at least 2 guys from this first game. That would be my answer. What do you think about Chase Brown? Don't hate him. I think he's worth a punt in this slate, right? We've already seen he's pretty electric, and Joe Mixon's looking a little dusty. Let's be honest. What's your favorite leverage piece? That's too picky. Sorry, bro. I don't do that shit. Kevin, is Kincaid okay? I know we took some hits last week. Knox stepping back in. I think Kincaid's fine. I'm not too worried about it. I think last week was just a really weird game and we can't overreact to it, but maybe there's something there. I don't know, Bob. Viable to 1.5 stack Mason Rudolph with Warren? I think that's very viable. I think that'd probably be my favorite way to play him, actually. You think people will play baseball bat and the Bills D? Yeah, I think the Bills D could sack him, get a touchdown, maybe a pick 6 early, and then Stick gets there in 3rd and 4th quarter garbage time, right? I think they're going to run with him the whole game, and they didn't pull him last week, and ended up having a pretty nice game. Did it almost all at garbage time, right? Let's see. Do you think Johnson out snaps Murray? No, I mean, maybe, but I don't think that he outscored. Murray's completely dependent on touchdowns, right? You're only playing Murray for some goal line carries. And the problem with that is Josh Allen is kind of getting good at the tush push too, so you also got to worry about that. Latavius Murray is becoming really thin value, but then I also feel like they've realized that James Cook is definitively the guy that makes them the best football team. What are your thoughts on tiers I already answered it. Don't ask the same question twice, Burley. All right, what are your thoughts on Warren and Muth? The fuck is Muth? Let's see. I'm very warm to Warren. I hate trying to guess these Steelers running backs. I would say Warren is more electric, so probably him. But I still think that Najee is their guy. Like, he's still going to start and stuff like that. Probably going to get the first crack on goal line. So there has to be something with that. Is Chase going to kill Mixon in usage? Is Chase going to kill Wait, you do know Jamar Chase is out, right? Oh, you mean Chase Brown, I hope. Okay. I was like, you got me confused. No, I don't think so. I think you're still going to see more Mixon than Brown, but I think that Brown has bigger upside, right? Merry Christmas, brother. Same to you, Jordan. Thanks for being here, man. Can't believe it. 187 of you here. You guys are killing it. That's police go for murder. Okay. Harrison Warren can be in optimal lineups together. Yeah, probably. I think especially if the Steelers get up early and they're controlling it, they each get a touchdown, get some receptions. Maybe one of them gets a 100-yard rushing bonus. I could see that. You getting a new set of golf clubs for Christmas? I've been needing to buy some new golf clubs, but there's that whole middle ground where I fucking suck and I don't think I deserve them. Look at Rudolph's history. He loves to dump off the ball to RBs. Hey, I know. Mason Rudolph can't throw the ball more than 12 yards down the field. All right, thank you all for coming by. It has been real. Do not forget, you mother fathers, tonight, 7 o'clock. Everything's still the same. Be breaking down that 9-game slate tonight. Be there for it. My contest winners, reach out to me. We will build those contests either today or tomorrow. Whatever you want to do. I appreciate all of you guys for being here. The best Christmas song ever will be the outro. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope Mariah Carey can forgive me. But all you need to know is best Christmas song of all time.